Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Hello and welcome to Unit 4 that we're going to that is titled About You, and we are going to talk about things about yourself. Many goals. The first goal is say how you spend your time. Next, say what you eat and drink. Ask what people like. Talk about things you often do. Ask for a drink in a cafe. Say what you like and don't like. And lastly, ask how people spend their time. Now, if you want to talk about the things you often do every day, you will need verbs and nouns. For example, on the left side here we have different kind of verbs like speak, watch, go, listen, read, and play. Whereas in the right side we have different nouns like football, tennis, book, TV, piano, basketball, newspaper, and a radio. Now, if you're going to mention what you do every day, you will need a verb and a noun. For example, I can say, I play football. I play tennis. I read a book. So I chose the verb read with the noun book. TV. Which verb will go with it? It's of course watch. I watch TV. And be careful that you don't say I watch the TV, because we use it only in Arabic, whereas in English only I watch TV. I play the piano. I play basketball. I read the newspaper, and I listen to the radio. Okay, now let's go and take a look at page 30. Here we have verbs and noun. We have a man named Andre from Kingston in England. He will talk about his daily activity. Okay, so here we have the verbs speak, watch, go, listen, read, and play. Please stop the video, fill in the blank, starting with I, and choose a verb from here and complete the sentences, okay? After you finish, go back and we will do them together. Okay, so number 1, I go to school. 2, I speak Spanish. Number 3, I play the guitar. Number 4, I read magazines. Number 5, I listen to music. And number 6, I play DVDs. Okay? Now, activity verbs, starting with I, verb, and then the noun. I watch TV. 2, I listen to the radio. Number 3, I read the newspaper. And I need you to pay attention. In the second sentence, I listen to the radio. Here, we always have to use the word the. Okay? I listen to the radio, whereas in TV, no the in there. Okay? I hope this is very clear for you. Some sentences. Now on page 30, you can match the verbs here at the top with the pictures from A to H. Okay? Pay attention to here. I watch TV, but the radio with the, as we mentioned before. Okay? Now let's go and do them one by one. Number 1, picture A. I play football. Picture B. I read a book. C. I play basketball. I play tennis. I read the newspaper. I watch TV. I listen to the radio. And H. I play the piano. Okay? Now, if there's anything you don't understand, just please write down your questions and we will answer it as we do the exercises during the lecture. The point we're going to go to is mentioning the things that you like and what you don't like. As you can see here, for example, I like sports. I play football. I watch football and I go to football matches. Now, if you don't like to do these things, what do you say? As we said, I don't like. For example, I don't like sports. I don't play football. I don't watch football. I don't go to football matches. Okay, so I hope this was very clear for you, and let's go now and practice the negative form. Okay, number 1, I like cats. How you mention the negative, and always if you see negatives, that means there is the use of not. And here we need to use don't. I like cats. I don't like cats. Now please here, I need you to stop the video, read it on your own, and then come back and let's do it together. Okay? Now, number 2, I play tennis. The negative form, I don't play tennis. 3, I don't watch TV a lot. Number 4, I don't play the piano. Number 5, I don't go to football matches. 6, I don't read lots of magazines. Number 7, I don't speak Chinese, and I don't have children in number 8. Okay, I hope this was very clear for you. Now, the next point we'll have here is reading. So I'll need you to read Saad's web profile, add verbs in the caps. The 5 verbs you're going to read is watch, have, speak, like, and live. Okay? So stop the video right now, read it, answer, and then let's do it together, okay? Number 1, the verb here is live. 2, have. 3, speak. 4, like. And number 5, watch. Okay, I hope that you did that correctly. Point we are going to talk about is food and drinks. Now, what are the different food that you like or you don't like to eat, or the drinks that you like to drink or you don't? First, we will start with food. And here we have 8 different words for food. The first one, this is meat, fish, fruit, vegetables, pasta, rice, bread, and salad. And match the words to the pictures, the 8 words that we just talked about. Now, what is the first picture that you see here? Yes, the first picture, this is A, salad, B, fruits. And this is a very healthy option for you to eat. Fish, meat, rice, vegetables, bread, and pasta. Okay? Now, for example, if someone is going to ask you, how often do you eat rice, for example? Now, in answering this question, how often, you will need adverbs of frequency. For example, you can say, I always eat rice, or I sometimes eat rice, or I never, if you don't like rice, I never eat rice. Okay, the same thing goes with vegetables, bread, and pasta. Now, what are the adverbs? The frequency are used to answer questions starting with how often. Okay, so if you see how often, it means how often you do these things. Do you do it, for example, every day? So you will use always. Or 80%, you will use usually, and this is we decrease in time. Sometimes, rarely, and never. Never, this is 0%, you never do these things, whereas always, this is 100. Okay, so we have always, usually, sometimes, rarely, and examples about these adverbs of frequency. For example, I often eat meat, like 50%. After that, I sometimes eat meat. Or if you don't like to eat meat, you will say, I never eat meat. Okay? And also you can say, for example, I eat meat every day. Okay? Now, where is the place in the sentence? Now, always, the adverbs of frequency, if you have a verb, action verb like eat, drink, like, or play, okay, it always comes before, so, or after I. Okay, so this is the place. I can't say I eat after meat. No, it always comes after the pronoun and before the verb. I often eat. The word often here comes after I and before eat. The same thing goes for sometimes. It's because I have eat, so it comes before. Or I never eat meat. Whereas the word every day, it always comes at the end of the sentence. I eat meat every day. Leave it till after the verb and then mention it. Okay, now let's take a look at. Okay, so as we said before, here's the rule. I, and then we have adverbs of a frequency, and then continuation of the sentence, eat fish. Here I eat fish, and then every day. Now let's go and answer the questions in here. Write the sentences in the correct order. So we will start with the pronoun subject, and then adverbs of frequency if there is an adverb of frequency. After that, the verb and the noun. Or do we have it for every day? It will come at the end of the sentence. For example, I every day TV watch. Okay, please write it in the correct order, and always don't forget sentence I will end with a full stop. Okay, now here we have often. I play with my friends football. Okay, number 3, eat, meet, they, and then never. Number 4, tennis, play, often, do, you, and then question mark. So question mark here, I know that this is a question. Number 5, work, sometimes, I at the end. Number 6, every day, coffee, drinks, he. Okay? After you finish, let's check your answers. So here is the answer key. Number 1, I often watch TV every day, and then full stop. 2, I often play football with my friends. 3, they never eat meat, full stop. Number 4, do you often play tennis? Question mark. 5, I sometimes work at the weekend, full stop. Number 6, he drinks coffee every day, and then we have the full stop. Okay, now let's go and see the different drinks that you can ask for in a cafe or in a restaurant. And here is an example of a cafe's menu. So in the drinks, they have tea, coffee, cola, lemonade, orange juice, and water. Now, how do you go and ask the waiter for your order? There are 2 ways that you can ask. You can say, for example, you can start with I will have, or can I have? For example, here, I'm looking at it, this is a sentence. So because it's a sentence, I will choose I will have. So I will say, I will have a coffee, please. Okay? Number 2, an orange juice, please, question mark. So question mark, I will start with can I? Can I have an orange juice? Number 3, water, please. Full stop. So I will choose I'll have water, please. Okay? Now the next slide here, we're going to talk about restaurants and the different kinds of restaurant. Okay? Now, what kind of food do you think these restaurants have? Okay, we have 5 different restaurants here, and they are on page 33 on your book. So the first restaurant we have the Burger House. Okay. Next, Tokyo restaurant, Taj Mahal restaurant, Shanghai restaurant, and Pizzeria Billeroma. Okay, now let's go to the reading passage and see which kind of these restaurants are they talking about. Here, read the sentences and decide which restaurant are they talking about. Okay, read number 1, number 2, 3, 4, and 5, and come back to check it with me. Now here are the names of the restaurant. The first one is Pizzeria Billeroma. Number 2, Tokyo Restaurant. 3, Taj Mahal Restaurant. Number 4, The Burger House. And the last one, Shanghai Restaurant. Okay, now you will notice when he talked about the restaurant, he described it as a small Italian restaurant in Station Road. Tokyo, small Japanese restaurant. Number 3, Taj Mahal. This is a good Indian food and not too expensive. Number 4, American and international food. Number 5, the best, Shanghai is the best Chinese restaurant in town. Now, why did he say Italian? Because it sells Italian food. You will notice here, always when you mention the nationality of something, we will use capital letters. So here I use capital I. Japanese, it's also capital J. Indian, capital I. American, it's also capital I. Chinese here, capital C. Okay, so always when you mention the nationality of something or someone, we will use capital letters. Now let's go and compare. Now here as a description, a Chinese restaurant. We use the article a because Chinese, it starts with C and this is a consonant. A Chinese. A small Italian cafe. Whereas an, I will use it if the word start in a vowel. So an Indian start with the vowel I. An Italian start with the vowel I. Okay? So here, China. The food from China is called Chinese food with capital C. Italy, Italian food, capital I. The USA, this is America, so we will say American food, capital A. India, Indian food, capital I. Japan, Japanese food. Okay, I hope this is very clear for you. So always we will use capital letters. Okay? Point we're going to talk about is the questions do you. Now you use this question if you want to ask other people of the things they like, of the things they do or they like to do or drink or eat, for example. Okay, so we will start with do and then you and then verb one, not one. Now what does verb one mean? We will say now. Okay, so the first one, do you watch football? Question mark. Okay, so watch here, this is verb one. We don't add anything to the verb. Now Spanish. Which words from these we are going to use? So this is a question. Do you speak Spanish? Number 3. Do you live near here? Number 4. Do you have children? Okay, so these are the sentences. I like coffee. The question to ask for this person, you will say, do you like coffee? We live in India. The question for this sentence is, do you live in India? Okay, now here let's make questions. So we will start with do you and then choose a suitable verb for the noun. Okay, now number 1, please do it. Stop the video, do them, and then come back and do it with me. So the question for number 1 is, do you watch TV? 2, do you live in London? 3, do you like Italian food? 4, do you work in a bank? 5, do you go to school? Number 6, do you have a mobile phone? 7, do you like tea? Or you can say, do you drink tea? Number 8, do you play the piano? And the last one, do you like Mozart? Okay? The review of the simple present. Simple present, we use it with the activities that you do every day, with the food you eat every day, or the food that you like or you don't like. For example, I like coffee. I live here. The negative, as we said before, we are going to use don't. So I like became I don't like coffee. I live here. I don't live here. The questions, when we make questions, we will use do. Do you like coffee? And here, do you live here? Now, let's go and correct the mistakes in the sentences. Okay? Now please read them, do it, and then come back and do it with me. Okay? Okay, so the answer, correcting the mistake, I not speak English. The mistake here is we need don't. So I don't or do not speak English. Number 2, you eat meat. This is wrong because this is a question, and in questions we need do. So here, do you eat meat? Number 3, we often listen the radio. What is missing here? The missing here is to. We often listen to the radio, to the radio. Number 4, I not like cola. This is wrong. We need to say don't. I don't or I do not like cola. Number 5, are you like football? No, this is wrong. We will use do. Do you like football? Okay? Exercises in your workbook and the online workbook on Cambridge LMS, and we will answer the exercises in your workbook together during the lecture and answer all your questions. Okay, thank you and see you in the next video.